Okay, let's repeat one thing. We're doing the Aztec software material notes. Uh, this is an interdisciplinary materials. So we stopped in the mathematics section. We were looking at the difference between prime and composite numbers. So these prime and composite numbers both are natural numbers. Natural numbers are any number greater than 1. Natural numbers are 1 and everything above 1, all whole numbers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, etc. Right? To whatever, infinity. So these are natural numbers. Well, prime and composite numbers have to be greater than 1. So they start at 2, basically. So everything, they say it's greater than 1, not including 1. So it starts at 2. And prime numbers are any number that can only be divided by itself and the number 1. So like 2 is a prime number. It can be divided by 2 and 1. 3 is a prime number. It can be divided by 3 and 1. 11 is a prime number. It can be divided by 11 and 1. And composite numbers can be divided by those two, so itself, 1, and another number as well, or even more numbers. So like 12 can be divided by 12, 1, and then 2, 3, 4, 6. It's a beautiful time. It's actually sunset right now. The birds are chirping. Speaking of birds, natural numbers are any numbers that are used to count things in nature, such as birds or any kind of animals. So natural numbers are whole numbers, 1 and all the numbers greater than 1 that you use to count natural things in nature. So 1 is a natural number, and all the numbers after 1. And again, the number, when you're looking at composite and prime numbers, 1 is neither prime or composite. This has to be greater than 2 and above, so greater than 1. So, and also 0 is not included since it's not a natural number. And all the negative numbers are not included since they're not natural numbers. So for prime and composite numbers, they have to be greater than 1. So over 2. 2 and over. One, two, three, can you count with me? 1, 2, 3 are natural numbers you see. 1, 2, 3, can you count with me? 1, 2, 3 are natural numbers you see. Prime numbers are those over 2, but composite numbers contain more than just 2. Prime numbers are those over 2, and composite numbers contain more than just 2 numbers. Prime numbers contain just itself and 1. Composite numbers contains more than just those 2. Composite numbers may contain more than 3 that divide into that number you see. Composite numbers contain 3 or more numbers that can divide into that number. 1, 2, 3 are natural numbers you see. Prime numbers contain just itself and one. Composite numbers can be divided by 3 different numbers or more. Thanks for finally rejoining us, dear Ruben. I have been waiting impatiently. I even made a song. The song goes like this. Natural numbers are 1, 2, 3. Prime numbers are those that divide only by itself and one. Composite numbers are those that divide by 3 or more different numbers.
That was really sweet. Thank you.
Natural numbers are like 1, 2, 3. Prime numbers are those that only divide by 1 in itself. Composite numbers are those that divide by more than just 1 in itself, or 3 or more different numbers. Okay, next section is rules of multiplying decimal numbers. Decimal numbers must have digits to the right of the decimal point. So like 2.5 is a decimal number. If it's just 2.0, it doesn't count because it's just 2. So you must have digits other than 0 other on the right hand side of the decimal point. You count the number of decimal places from the right that are in the numbers you are multiplying, and you include those places in your answer or your product by adding the number of decimal places of your factors. The factors are the numbers that you are multiplying. So you can have 2 factors if you're multiplying 2 numbers, 3 factors if you're multiplying 3 numbers, etc. Whatever number of numbers you're multiplying, you count the number of decimal places that you have, and you add those and you include those in your product. So those are the decimal places to the right of your decimal point. So if you have 4.345, the numbers to the right of the decimal are 345, so that's 3 spaces. You multiply by, for example, 0.5, the number, the digit 5 is to the right of the point, so that's 1 space. So in your product, you're going to include 4 spaces to the right of your decimal point, so you're going to get 2.1725. So you have to make sure the answer contains 4 spaces to the right of the decimal point, which is the sum of 3 and 1. So that's how you determine the location of the decimal point in the answer, which is, again, the sum of the total number of digits to the right of the decimal places in the terms or the factors that are being multiplied. If you multiply 68.7, that's 1 space for the 7, or the 0.7, 92.36, that's 2 spaces for the 0.36. So you know your answer is going to have 3 spaces to the right of the decimal point. That's how you multiply decimals. Next section is division. Long division sometimes has no remainder if it divides evenly. For example, 35 divided by 5 is 7. You could also write, in different terms. You could use the division sign or a slash or a division bar. You can write it like long division ways. And then other times it doesn't divide evenly, so the remainder will not be 0. One example, 35 apples in 5 baskets. So 35 divided by 5, you get 7 apples in each of the 5 baskets. We'll continue in the next part.